Tareeq Musafer. Welcome to my rig rundown. So I've been a DJ for many years. I started out around 1983, playing the school house parties, that kind of stuff. Back then we were, I was mainly playing on cassettes. I never had vinyl, none of this. So we used to play on little cassette players. Sometimes they were even car stereos. Get lots of tapes recorded. Have two tape players with a little mixer, homemade mixer in the middle. It was actually a cigar box that we had kind of fixed up, and it was the housing for a mixer. We'd play a lot out of cassettes, and that was really the beginning back in the 80s when I started, early 80s. So around 1983, we had these riots in Sri Lanka, so that was the time that schools were on vacation and we were all at home, so we used to have these VHS tapes that I remember. I was watching this movie called Thank God It's Friday, and there was this guy there, Bobby Speed. He was the DJ, and that part I used to always rewind, and I used to wonder what he's doing, because he's playing the music of something that's turning. And this was during the 83 riots, and that was the first time that I remember asking my dad, what's all that? And then he explained, well, that's what a disc jockey does. That was kind of when I got to know that, oh, this is what a DJ is. And I think that was the start of me getting into loving, playing music for people to dance, that kind of thing. So I DJ'd my own 14th or 15th birthday, I think, 84, 85, somewhere there, and played to all my friends. They were dancing, so that was really good times. We had all our DJs, the guys who used to play off vinyl, and they were, top-notch guys. A lot of them were my influencers, from Jerry, Harpo, guys like Eugene, Banti Noordin, all these guys. So I learned a lot of, the technical stuff from these people, the sound aspect of things. I was introduced to vinyl around 85, 86, actually through my father, basically, because we had some records at home. But also to DJing on vinyl through, some of the other DJs who were playing on vinyl. So I was fortunate enough to play with them, and got my hands on records. And that was kind of the game changer, I guess, the turning point when you start playing on vinyl and you start buying vinyl, you start collecting. So that was like a turning point for me around 1986, 87, somewhere there. So around 1989 is when I actually moved to Australia for studies. But there in Melbourne is where I actually got exposed to a lot of vinyl, and also because I was loving the whole DJ circuit. I was going around looking for people who I could connect with and kind of get into the scene. And through my move to Melbourne is when I would say I acquired the bulk of my vinyl collection. Over there we had to actually play out of vinyl, on vinyl. There weren't all of the clubs, they were equipped with only turntables. So it was, either you had it on vinyl and you could play it, or if you didn't have it, you're not going to be able to play the song. And unlike here in Sri Lanka, we weren't able to really record CDs or take cassettes that were recorded to the clubs. So, you really needed to have the vinyl record to be able to play the song. So that's where I think progressing from Sri Lanka, moving to Melbourne, that's when I got exposed to a lot of the technical stuff in DJing, understanding what DJs do technically, manipulating the vinyl and the records, and getting I'd say perfecting my craft. A lot of that came when I was in Australia. Right now, I've been fortunate enough to come to a place where I can, have all my records in one room, in one space. I've got a couple of consoles, the different types. I'll run you guys through it in a little while. So technology has evolved a lot. Lots of things are actually much easier with the digital space. However, I tend to keep it very analog, very old school, but I love fusing this with the new technology and trying to achieve something that's unique and my sound kind of thing. So I'd like to just show you guys a little bit of that. So right now what I'm going to do here is, okay, I have two turntables. This is the PLX 1000. Straightforward analog turntable, very stable, very good. I have a DJ S1000. This is actually a sampler. I can record stuff straight off my vinyl onto this, and I can play it back in sequence. So that's what this unit does. It's called the Pioneer DJ S1000. I have a Toria's SP16. This is also a sampler. We can do a lot of stuff built in. We can do a lot of stuff in here, and it has a lovely analog processor here, Dave Smith Instruments, that kind of a processor. It's really, really good. And so that's 124 BPM. I'm using that beat, which I'm going to overlay on the acapellas here. Along with that, I'm using a Pioneer EFX 1000, which is an RMX 1000. This I'm actually using in this particular segment to isolate the bass like this. Get rid of the bass, and also just to give it a bit of a effect, which is this high frequency echo. And this gadget here is a 6-channel DJM V10. It's one of the most upfront mixers come out by Pioneer right now. It's actually to connect multiple sources. That's why it has 6 channels, and it's got a great effects section as well. So here I am actually putting all my sources in here, 2 turntables, the SP16, the S1000, all this is connected, routed through this mixer. So in this little sample that I'm doing, I have actually taken a record, 2 records. One is a sample of this. This is Kashmir Brighter Days. I've taken this underground Goldie's remix sample, which is this. Let me out, let me out, won't you let me out? On this side, I've actually taken Angie Stone, the white label promo, the acapella, which is on the B side. Just taken that sample, and that is actually this part. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So the whole thing is analog with a little bit of digital, and trying to do it all in real time. So let's just give it a try and see. This is not rehearsed. We'll see how it turns out. So in this console, I'm actually using a DJ S9 mixer, which is a 2-channel mixer, 2 turntables. There's a limited edition gold version of the Pioneer console here. This too, just like on the other side, is a PLX 1000, but it's just the gold edition. I've also coupled myself a SP404SX, which is a Roland analog sampler. And to this unit, I actually take pieces of music, sequence it in here, and start playing while I'm DJing. So that's basically why this is hooked up here. So let's see. Santana. So I've just got a lot of samples there, so I can just, because I can play them in sequence. I also use the phase instrument here. Phase is actually a device that controls my Serato software. So I'm able to play the music on my Mac through the phase DVS. And this is a really neat little gadget. This is a new invention. So the music, so there's no needle or anything that goes, the stylus of the turntable does not need to touch the record. It's all controlled directly by this remote unit that is connected onto the 2 turntables. And as you can see, there's no needle, that is, the stylus is not on the record. It's playing directly, and that's because of this little remote right here is sending a signal, and there's a lot of electronics that's going on there, and that plays the audio file. Now if I want to get onto this side, I basically got the track onto my right hand side deck. And now it's playing on this side. So I can just very easily mix between the two. So you know the cool thing about this, right? So see, this remote, when it turns, it actually plays the song, you know. So if I
Roadtown clubbing, ladies' night. Seen shorty, she was crazy, right? Yeah, we was here too. She know she's.
It's really cool, but it's also very innovative. This is just a straight magnet with a battery in there, and it's talking to this device, which in turn talks to the software here. So that's basically my rig rundown here. In order to control my Serato software, I use the phase unit and the SP404SX along with the DJ S9. So that was a little bit about me, my rig rundown, the music that I'm housing in this space. And thank you very much, Anil, for having me on your show, the rig rundown, and thank you very much, Shane, Yamaha Music, Mic Audio. You guys have always been very supportive, and I'm very honored to be on this program. Something that I'd like to share with DJs who are getting into the circuit, the younger generation of DJs, while technology is there at your fingertips, all that's there, I think what we would may lack sometimes is the music knowledge. So from that perspective, I would always recommend vinyl. And even if you're not a DJ playing on vinyl, at least build a habit to collect some vinyl, have a little turntable at home, because if you take a record and start listening to it, you're not just going to listen to one song, you're going to listen to the album, which has a few tracks, and that's always good. It just increases your knowledge. Even within an album, there's a lot of genre changes, although it is the same artist. So try to get into listening to more music. Albums would be great, and expand your music knowledge, while the digital space would give you all the flexibility in the technical area. I think DJs need to increase their musical knowledge.